And then they got the individuals that undid the work. For example, they still smoking Black and Miles, you know, still smoking Black and Miles, still smoking weed, still drinking alcohol, doing the average man stuff, doing what the average man gonna do their whole entire life, still smoking cigarettes and shit. And then they look at us who changed ourselves and changed our lives for the better. And they get mad. And they're not even envious, they just get mad. Because they get so mad. It's because it's like you start out as a grape, and some people, they turn into a better grape, or they just turn into a raisin. And at that one point in my life, I was turning into a raisin. I really was. I was turning into a raisin, man. But some of these individuals, they expect you not to grow. They expect you not to become a better person. They expect you not to become a better version of yourself. Even if it takes a long time. Like I said, when I started, I was still obese and fat. I started putting in work. Nobody else seen the work I was putting in. So in their eyes, I'm doing it for nothing, right? Oh, I'm putting in this work for nothing. We'll do it, putting in the work for nothing. But then, once the shit started showing, the shit started paying off, becoming a better guy, went from a 1 out of 10 man to well above the average guy. At the end of the day. And these individuals don't want to do that for themselves. They just want to sit around and keep doing what the average guy is going to do their whole life. You know, and still smoking Black and Miles, still smoking weed, still drinking alcohol, doing that bum stuff that we refuse to be a part of at the end of the day. We refuse to be a part of it. We refuse to partake in all the bum stuff and all the bum shenanigans that people are still doing. You know what I'm saying? Eating protein shakes made out of mango, right? Protein shakes made out of mango and stuff. We got ourselves from 5 push-ups to 70 push-ups, 80 push-ups. You know what I'm saying? 65 push-ups. And that's fine. Like, hey, bro over here, you know, he couldn't do 1 push-up. Now he's getting into it. Now he can do 10 push-ups. Now he can do 5 push-ups. Hey, I respect bro, because at least he's putting in some work with himself. At least he's putting in some type of work with himself that can change his own life. If not anybody else's life, change his own life. But I'm going to tell y'all, bro, if your partners are still smoking weed, still smoking cigarettes, still smoking Black and Miles, you know, still drinking alcohol, you know, still trying to sleep around, you got to cut them off. You got to cut them all the way off. And they going to get hot because they going to think that you think you better than them. But really, it's God trying to tell you, like, hey, I need to separate you from these people because y'all not going in the same area. Y'all not going to the same place. Y'all not going to the same spot. Y'all not going to the same, y'all not going to the same eternity. Y'all not going to the same eternity, basically. They going to a different eternity. You know what I'm saying? We children of Jesus. We children of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We ain't children of the darkness, dog. We children of the Most High. And so, they don't want us to put in no kind of work. But you decided, hey, I'm going to put in some type of work, and that little tiny bit of work was better than none. Because when we look at the cycle, okay, every day of a little tiny bit of work that I was doing, I wasn't going to the gym, wasn't nothing. I wasn't even good at walking. So I got myself good at walking. You know what I'm saying? I was 27 years old. Got myself good at walking. Got good at walking. And then that led to something else. And then that led to something else. Getting good at walking gave me the confidence to start making calls on the phone, basically. And then I wanted to get good at walking. I was like, okay, now I'm running out of breath so quick because all the smoking. Had to stop smoking. Stop the smoking. But then these individuals, they see that your tiny little bit of effort paid off. Your tiny little bit of effort paid off. But every day we don't put in no kind of effort is a day to where like the effort kind of takes its essence back, if that makes sense, right? So you putting in some type of work each day, bam, 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 it's still gonna add up, even if it ain't nothing, not a little bit. But then the days where these individuals ain't putting no work, bam, 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 degrade. And that's what they see in themselves. Is they try to look at us or look at you and say, hey, this person ain't never gonna do nothing. They never gonna become nothing. They never gonna be nobody. But then it come to a point where, damn, every step I take, I pass somebody up. Every step I take, I just pass a billion people up. That's in that bracket. Not hierarchy, but in that bracket. Once you stop smoking the weed and drinking alcohol and partying, you just passed every person up that's still smoking weed, partying, drinking and stuff. All them people gonna be single parents and stuff, not married to the people they got kids with, because they didn't want to listen to God. They didn't want to listen to the Bible. But we chose to listen to Jesus. We chose to listen to the Bible, and our lives are paying off. It's not even us. It's God's will, and it's God's work. It's paying off for us. We didn't listen to Satan and the devil and do what he told us to do. We did what Jesus told us to do, and now it's paying off later on in life. Later on in life, it's paying off. Stay solid, G.